Hello everyone. Today I've collected together this little compilation of bits and pieces. I've got this piece of pre-made fabric where I took a lot of little scraps and I put them all together and I made a new piece of fabric. And I've got a video on this called Using More Scraps to Make Fabric 1 and 2. I recently purchased this because it was extremely cheap at an end of year sale. And this is a scrap. Now I can't remember if this came out of the mystery bag or if it came out of my op shop find, but you know, I have so many bits of fabric I've forgotten. It may be in one of my videos. So today I decided I made this little pincushion a few weeks ago, and I love this little pincushion. It's my favourite thing in my sewing room at the moment, and it's always in the studio area somewhere, and it's been put to good use. So how am I going to make this? I'm going to make a little bit of a different one today, and I'll show you something a little bit different. Now I'm trying to use up my fabrics and the occasional new purchase. I'm going to make another round one so you can see that I've just cut a circle here, and I'm just going to leave a tiny little bit around the edge there because I am actually going to sew this by machine today. It's just a little bit easier on my hands if it's something's a bit thicker. So I'm going to cut out two circles the same size and use them as the front and the back. Now I have lots of fabrics and I want to use them use them up. So I'm just creating these smaller, easier projects. They're good for beginners and they are good just to use up scrap fabrics. Now, I would consider this a bit of a scrap fabric because I don't have a lot of it. The other one is a 1/2 metre. That's not a scrap fabric. That's 1/2 metre, but it just was the colour coordination went together. So I've got the outside and I've got the two outside pieces. So what I will do is I'll put these right sides together and I will sew them together. Today I'm going to make something called a Suffolk Puff or a yo-yo because I actually want to put this on the front of the little pin cushion, and then I'm going to select a button and I'm going to sew it down and use the button in a different way to something I normally wouldn't probably do, but at least I'm getting rid of a button as well. So how do you make a Suffolk Puff? Now don't ask me why it's called a Suffolk Puff. I mean, I have no idea. And I don't even know why it's called a yo-yo, but I might look that up and let you know. So what I do is I turn the edge over like this and I just finger press it. And what you do is you make this tiny little hem around the edge. So you continually go around and you make this little hem. Now it's just try and keep it, eyeball it and try and keep it as even as possible. You may not be able to get it perfect. You could press this, but as you see, I'm just doing it here with my finger and it's fine. Now, at the end of this double thread, I've just put this knot. And you can see the stitches aren't that small, but they're not particularly large either. I'd keep them as sort of a I'd keep them a fairly small stitch. So I'll just show you. I'd say about that's stitch length all the way around because it's going to gather the fabric in. So you don't want really long stitches where the next stitch is way over there. That's not going to work. You're better off to keep the stitches as even as possible. Okay, let's keep going here. Now, as you see, this doesn't take very long to do. Now, I haven't done Suffolk Puffs. I'm going to call them Suffolk Puffs because that's what I grew up calling them. Now, I haven't used them before, and there are lots of different ways I was thinking about using this little traditional puff, and I might explore some of those in upcoming videos. But today, I just wanted to add another pincushion idea to my little growing repertoire of pincushions, because I am going to make a whole lot of them. And I want to give them to the people at my craft group, especially to the sewers in my craft group. Okay, so we're back around to the beginning. Now what you do, I'll cut the thread off there. Sorry for the little break there. So now I have it all gathered up. So what you do is you just gently pull this, and as you see, it starts to gather in. Now you can hold one end and pull the other end. Just do it so that you get an even gathering right round. So I'm just going to pull it in there, and you'll see that it forms this little puff, as it's known. So I'll pull that one in a little bit more, and you get this lovely little green puff. So I'm just going to tie that off. Make sure it's nice and tight here, and tie it off. Now I would suggest that you give this a gentle press. Sorry, just struggling to tie a knot as always. So that's the little Suffolk Puff made. It's all gathered in, it's ready to go. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to the sewing machine, these little circles, and I'm going to put the right sides together of the fabric, and I'm going to sew around the edge. Now I'm going to sew around the edge, and of course I'm going to leave a gap. So somewhere here, wherever you like, it doesn't really matter. I'll just show you. I'm just going to leave a gap that's, say, that wide, because I need to be able to turn this inside out so I can fill it. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine, and then I'll be right back. Now I'm back from the sewing machine, and I've just sewed around the edge, and I've got a pink thread, so it's very difficult to see, but I just sewed as closely as possible. And I made the hole a little bit smaller, and I know it will take a bit more effort to turn this inside out, but it also leaves a smaller hole that I need to actually hand stitch later, so I often prefer that. So just gently pull it through, just be very careful. The other thing that I didn't mention is when I do this seam, I leave this hole, I always back tack at the beginning and the end when I go around of that sewn seam, because if you don't, when you're pulling it through like this, you can actually rip the seam open. So what I'm talking about is when you get here, I back tack backwards and forwards, or otherwise it can come apart, and that's really annoying. Makes it a little bit hard. So now I've just got a pencil, and I'm just going to gently work it out, the seam out, and you can press it at this stage if you want to. That's fine. I'm not going to press it at this stage. I'm simply just going to use this. This is actually a charcoal white pencil. It's just happened to be on my desk. So you've got this lovely little round shape now. So let's do the next part. Now I keep a lot of little scraps, but the one thing I do keep is little tiny wadding scraps like this. And the reason I do that is because I'm going to use them in this project. I'm going to cut them up a little bit because I don't know if that makes it easier to stuff it or not. So that's, again, I'm just going to use this. This is what I use. You can use toy filler if you have toy filler. It's not as dense as this, and your little pincushion will be a bit lighter, and it may be a little bit easier just to actually fill it. I'm not really sure. I don't currently have any what I'm calling toy filler, so I'm just going to use what I have. Now, if I didn't have this, I have a jar of tiny little fabric scraps. So all that fabric, like this fabric, is clean, it's new, and I'm just going to use it up. So I just want to be a little bit more economical. I don't want to have to go and buy lots of things. I'm trying to use what I have and only purchase new items that are either something I personally don't have at all or that really inspire me. And no one's. So again, give this a nice press. flatten it down a little bit and just see if the filling's enough at that edge. Now, it depends how hard you want this to be. For example, this one is it's firm, but it's not really, really hard. Now, I have another pincushion, which is a commercially purchased and made one. Now, this is almost rock hard, and it just depends. I mean, I have these just lying around on my bench, like on my workbench. So I tend to make them in all different sizes, and I don't like them to be too hard or too firm. Okay, so what you do now is you thread yourself. I've got double thread here, and I'm just going to do a little stitch here and hold this together, and then hopefully distribute the stuffing to that edge. So I'm just doing this a little bit bigger so you can see it. So I'm just doing a bit like a slip stitch where you go through. I've got a mass of sewing seams there actually. I think it needed a little bit more stuffing on this edge. As I said, it's quite deceptive how much stuffing you actually need to put in these little projects. Might just squish that down a bit and put a little bit more stuffing in there. Now I'm sure there's probably some tool that you can use for stuffing things, but I have this trusty little pencil here, and that's what I'm using today. Okay. All right, let's just go with that. Oh, there's a little bit. Let's just pop that in there too. All right, so let's just close this up quickly. Make sure I've pulled the thread. That must be an original thread. So back through here, back through there, and close up the little hole. I'm just going to go along here, sorry, deep in concentration. And I'm going to tie a knot over this way, away from the actual area which I sewed together. Now I've got the little round pin cushion, quite cute with all of this different little bits of scraps of fabric. I really like that scrap of fabric. So I've turned it over and I've just sort of, with my ruler, measured where I think the center is. So when I start putting this together, I'm going to put the Suffolk Puff there, and I'm going to put the button there. And then I'm going to go through the entire piece, and it's quite firm. I think it might be easier if you had fabric, just toy stuffing might be. I'm just going to leave this little tail out here. Then I'm going to come back in a similar spot at the back. I'm going to come up through all the layers, and I'm going to go through there. Now I'm going to make sure I keep this little tail out here as long as I possibly can. I'm going to try and keep that right in the center of the work as well. And I'm going to go back, make sure at the back I'm sort of going through the same area so I don't have a large so I finished, and I've brought the threads through from the back. You can see it's got this little dimple in the back here. It's a nice little size, this pincushion, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. The wadding makes it quite firm, so I think I'm going to really like this. I think I actually will give it as a gift, as I said. So thank you for being here with me today and watching me make this little pincushion. It's a great way to use up some scraps, and you end up with something cute and useful. So if you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks for spending some time with me today, and I hope to see you in the next project. Bye for now.